We are back, hey y'all. It's your boy James, and you watching my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. I think I could do it. I think I could do it. But joining me is my lovely co-host, who is always down with your boy to do the lives, aka my girl Amina, aka Mrs. Best is here.
Hello.
Yes, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm, here. It's Tuesday. We do it like we do every Tuesday. So we are here to talk about Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 3 recap. How would you rate the episode on a scale from 1 to 10?
Let me go over my notes and see. I would say maybe like a 4. And the 4 comes from the ending of the episode that not much happened.
See, I'm going to give them a 5 just because that ending scene gave me everything. I was like, oh my gosh, I have lived for this. So let's kind of break down what happened. We're not going to be here long, y'all. It wasn't really much. So we're not going to be here too much longer. So the opening, we continue where we left off last episode with Latrice and Sophia, aka So Gucci, for y'all who do not know her from that name. We call her Sophia on this channel because we ain't gonna play like that. So Sophia and Latrice are outside and they finally have this, moment of what they need to hash out, which really they didn't hash out anything because I don't even feel like Sophia really did express the issue. She just expressed what happened and what her problem was. Like, I didn't get anything, but to make a long story short, she just basically confronted her about Latrice finding a commercial building with another realtor, not giving Sophia the chance to actually sign the deal herself like she agreed to. So how did you feel looking at that scene and the overall issue of those two?
It's stupid. I mean, to sum it up, like honestly, I think So Gucci, Sophia has gotten cool with let me look at my notes so I don't mess up the names. Y'all know I'm new to the show. It seems like she's gotten cool with Marie and Letitia and that whole little side. And if you, my apologies for my background, my neighbors out there hella loud. I can't control the neighbors, y'all. But I don't know. I just feel like So Gucci's doing whatever she can to stay in with that group. Maybe in her head, she's thinking, oh, they've been here since season 1. If I align with them, I've got a job, because it's the only thing to me that makes sense. But the whole issue between her and Latrice as a whole, it's dumb. People switch realtors all the time. If you can't produce in the timeline that works for her, that's not her saying that you can't produce. That's her saying you didn't produce in the timeline or manner that worked for her. I mean, I think it just, when it comes to friendship, business is business and friendship is friendship.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. I don't believe So Gucci has the license to sell commercial real estate. I don't believe her. I'm sorry, y'all. And I know this is saying a lot because, from my understanding, you don't need a separation and license in Mississippi, from my understanding. I actually did the research on that. So Gucci could get a commercial property for her. She just did it in the timeline. But something else is fishy
You
about
know what
that
I didn't
situation.
like about it is that So Gucci, when talking to Latrice, agreed that Latrice has done nothing malicious to her.
Yeah,
But
and
then
I was
all
just
of
gonna
the
say
same,
that.
like next 2 sentences, she's still trying to say, well, what you did was wrong. So take what you just said, that she didn't do anything toward you that was malicious. That's
Right.
how I know she's bullshitting. And she is doing what she has to do to stay in with the people who she thinks have, greater numbers.
Absolutely. I got that same vibe. I was like, you ain't really mad about nothing. This is so moving on. Aikisha goes and visits Joshi at the whole Goddess Lengths hair and makeup all in one spa here, which is Latrice's business, if anyone knows. Go support Latrice. But I was looking at this scene and I was looking at Aikisha. And she turned into a damn secretary in this scene or not? Because the probing questions that she was asking, I was like, damn, like, lady, for real? You have to go like this? Like, it was just too much. So to sum up the scene, and then I'm gonna add my commentary later. The scene was basically, she's getting ready for this event she has to speak to. She did tell Josh that she is you know, had a grant proposal for Ferris Street. If you guys don't know, the premise of the show surrounds Ferris Street and them trying to revitalize this once Black community in the segregated times. So she is trying to help with what Letitia's original vision was, which was to revitalize the street for the Black community. Definitely commend her. She does get it done. I definitely love it. However, the conversation then goes messy, and then Josh is explaining, with Latrice because she did ask about it. And he was saying, the whole spiel. He was living with them, Jackson water crisis that is still not solved to this day. I don't know what the hell is going on there, but it's a water crisis that's still happening. And he was just basically letting her know all of the ins and outs of I don't want to call it like a turbulence of issues, but that's really what it is. It is a lot going on with Latrice and Cliff's marriage, him inserting himself, and Aisha the whole time is collecting data. Oh, okay. Oh, so it was disrespect. Okay, it was disrespect. Okay, has he didn't get physical? Did okay, he didn't get physical, and it was just like she was collecting notes, and I was just looking at her like, oh damn, like can he just finish his thoughts? And
Look,
really, like
Keisha, every hood, every city, everybody need a good bone collector. I am that for the people who know me from my block. I'm trying to tell you, if I find out something, I'm asking every question. You in court, I need to know everything before I assume that you are guilty. But no, that scene was whack. But
it
I'll
was
wait for
like
you.
I was looking at her like, "Oh my god, you've been missing this entire time, and now you bring your ass back and immediately insert yourself into the mess." I can't with Aisha. I just cannot. This ain't the scene I'm gonna read her for, but this is the scene where I was just like, "Okay, you starting to tap dance on my nerves, Aisha. You
Mm.
just got here, and we ain't. I'm not with this."
She should have shut the conversation down when Josh got to talking about her marriage. Like, stop. Just shut it down.
That's why I don't think she we have somebody to keep the mess going. I get that, but at the
Mhm.
same time, she was touching on some very dangerous, you know, segments of that conversation that I just thought was in poor taste.
Yeah.
So, so he gives her the business, and I thought this was really shady of Josh to do because I felt like if that's really your friend, you wouldn't have let all that tea out like you did. I mean, he just knocked over the kettle and tea was just all over the table. It was just like, wow, dude. Latrice has every right. If she watches this back, she has every right to be mad at you because you let out some shit that you shouldn't even have said.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I mean, part of friendship, I did see, I'm on that little Belle Collective Facebook group, but a lot of people were like, now, at first we was feeling Josh because it's like you need a friend that's going to tell you the hard things. But then it's just if like the things that if I talk to you about things which I do in my relationship, like I don't expect you to tell like anybody, like no mutual
Not
friend.
especially if a mutual friend,
Yeah.
especially if somebody that could get back to you. No, I'm not going to do that. Even
Spouses is like okay, but like
yeah, because pillow talk, I don't expect to hear any of my innermost darkest secrets coming out your husband's mouth. I don't expect to
never,
hear that. So
never.
that's the thing. So it was just
Right.
yeah, it was in poor taste. But hold on Aikisha, y'all, because I'm gonna get ass when we get to the next a
Not
few
I'm a
scenes
getter.
later. No, because I don't like what she did. So we gonna get her in a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to. Let me get this out the way, and then we can move on. Latrice and Letitia sit down at Letitia Pearson's Enterprises. It was them talking about their husbands and also Latrice's public speaking. What's so interesting to me is that I felt when you look at people who network in business and she's not good at public speaking but has made all this money, it's either one or two things. Either she already has someone who does this for her, or that hair really does sell itself.
Um, honestly, I think hair sells itself as a
You think hair
female.
sells itself?
I do, and I think honestly, when I go to the beauty supply, it's not like back in the day when everybody had to have Remy with their weaves and like it's changed a lot. People are more open to buying from small, unknown vendors, private vendors now, especially for hair bundles and wigs like Latrice is selling. Because I know people out here who done worked for me when I was managing and stuff, people out and giving jobs, the shittiest of employees. I'm sorry, I'm not watching my mouth. I mean, no professionalism, nothing, but they go sell hair and then they're able to make money. And they're just
Mm-hmm.
people nobody knows. And that you make a lot of money because you buy the product, I believe, for a decent price. And then what you sell it for is always going to be 5 times more the price. So people
Mm.
will spend and
Yeah.
drop money on hair. So I believe it. But at the same time, you don't really have to do public speaking to sell hair either. It's,
Well, no, I know you don't have to do public speaking, but the fact that she was so timid and she's made all this money, like I can't imagine in that field networking, getting in these doors. Like she got hair and weave and Coca-Cola machines and vending machines. So I'm trying to figure out, like, does the weave just really just sell itself and you ain't got to do all that?
no, of course, there's some marketing that she probably has help with, but
Okay,
it's
because I
pretty
was
easy to sell hair.
because I was looking at that scene and I was like, how did you make it? Like, I'm really like, because it's much harder as an author. Let me explain something to y'all. It is so much harder as an author to sell a book
Mhm.
than Latrice out there selling some hair.
I
It
mean, when
is
you think
so much
about it,
harder.
with digital creation and what we're doing now, it's hard as hell. You got to work. Every subscriber I got, I done worked for to some
Yes.
capacity. So it's like you got to work your ass off just to get people to subscribe and follow you. But if we go sell hair, well, that might be our calling.
I guess.
Somebody
So,
always want to weave.
yep, exactly. So Letitia was helping her with that. That was a cute scene. And then they got started talking about their husbands.
You know what I
And
did notice, not to interrupt you with that scene though? Letitia, I have not been able to stand her, see her purpose, but I liked her away from like Marie and the drama with her husband. She's likable.
so in seasons 1 and 2, like, yes, her and Marie engaged, but she really engaged with everybody. It wasn't
Mm,
just she was cliquish with Marie and, that was it. She really did interact with everybody and had a good rapport with everybody. Yes, she did have some fallouts. Absolutely, she did. But one thing about her, she was very neutral in
mm.
every situation. So this is kind of the Letitia that I like. That's why I said, but I was okay with her if she's in this setting, yeah, I do agree. But when she's in the setting with Marie, it's really one bad apple does spoil the rest of the fruits when it comes to Marie, which we'll get into in a minute. But going off of that, they're talking about their husbands. It's the same old hoopla. They two country ass, pumpkin ass men who are into these misogynistic ass ways. Sorry, I'm not watching my mouth. I went 13 minutes. That's good enough. It's just I don't understand the problem. The problem with Latrice's situation is that it seems like more has happened than she's letting on to believe, and she's protecting it, which I don't understand. And I think the same thing goes for Letitia. I feel like more has gone on that y'all are protecting these men from, and we can't feel sorry for you for staying in those situations.
I think uh, it the fact that they both obviously more is going on in both their relationships that in my opinion is they check off those little checklists and charts that they put in psychology and all of those things for
Hmm.
like signs of abuse from a spouse. So I feel like allegedly, I will say, because I ain't trying to get you in trouble on your channel, allegedly, my opinion, not fact, is that both of those men are abusive in some way. I think with Letitia's husband is more like mental and verbal a little bit with how he followed her to that space, found where she was and all of that.
Yeah, we don't get into it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like it's something there, obviously. Like they get into it. I feel like this is part of their cycle, their little toxic cycle. And then they have great
Mm.
sex after it. And that's from her mouth. But I think that's what's going on. But with Cliff and Latrice, because she has, I think, a lot of issues from
It's
childhood and
daddy
daddy
issues.
issues,
Yeah, it's
like
definitely the daddy
bad.
issues.
But I feel like Cliff, I feel like there's stuff she's not telling us even about how her dad was so controlling and this and that.
Mhm.
There might have been things her mom went through that she saw and felt was okay that she's dealing with, allegedly.
Well, see, this is it's tricky when it comes to her because in season 1, she made it seem as if she didn't know her dad at all.
Mm,
So it's really tricky to come in this season, 2 seasons later, and now you're saying your dad has been this abusive man towards your mother,
Right.
and you kind of saw that and was taught to just move around it. And to me, this seems like this is more the truth than what she let on in season one.
Yeah, well, you know what I always assume when they premiere a new show, like season one of any reality show, regardless of the people, I don't expect to see those same people back in later seasons, which we usually don't, because when you're coming on TV the first time, they're not adjusted to the cameras. They're so concerned about how they're being perceived. I think that interrupts and causes them to hide important things we need to know about them on the show. But you know, what goes on in the dark, darling, always comes to light. So what we didn't know about Latrice in season one, we definitely get into down to the nitty gritty now. She's definitely someone who hides a lot of her, but the more this marriage is exposed, she's either gonna have to come up off of television, or everything's going to come out in a way that's not good for her husband, which, in my opinion, allegedly may not be good for her mentally or physically. I think Cliff is a drunk. He gives me like, I drink too much and start tripping vibes. And he was too quick to call her a bitch in that prior episode. Like, yeah, dudes a yell, dudes a get in your face. But like, I've been with my dude for like 14 and a half years. He's never called me like a bitch in an argument. Like, whatever, bitch, I'm going, like, so I just find some of their behaviors. There's a lot
Well,
going
you have to understand there's a 30-year age difference between
on.
your husband and Cliff.
That,
There's a
man,
30-year age difference.
um,
Men in that time frame, that's how they talk to women because women were beneath them.
hell no. I grew up watching my grandfather. My grandmother, she's obviously old as hell. She from the South too, from New Orleans and Mississippi. She's one of 13, the only female. So I have a bunch of old uncles. Some of them's married, some of them wasn't. It was gigolos, whatever you want to call them. But I watched, for instance, my uncle Luke and my auntie Cheryl. He treated her wonderfully, and she was, I believe, like young, because she was my mom's age when I was a kid, and my mom was
So
27.
let me kind of go back a little bit and let's kind of break this. See, what you're saying is your uncles were not misogynistic men, is what
No,
you're
they
saying.
had those values
They
and
had the
principles, but
tendencies.
they weren't controlling and vocally invasive
Okay.
like Cliff. So it's like I get that those people from that generation act a certain way, and they were misogynistic in how we would define it now, but not all of them were misogynistic to where they just like, bitch, go sit over there, and
And what I'm
overly
saying
controlling.
is, yeah, what I'm saying is Cliff thinks he knows better for Latrice because he has a penis, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not
I
saying, yeah, I
think
get what you're saying.
I think with him, I think it goes deeper than misogyny. I think that man is abusive, allegedly. This is just
Yeah,
alleged.
I need Cliff's ex-wives. If it's more than
Wait,
one,
wives? How many are
I
there?
don't know. I don't know.
Whoa.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Allegedly, there's at least one. Okay, I need you to come out and say what the dynamics. There's like Steve Harvey's ex-wife came out. I need you to come out.
She did.
Yeah, I need
Brian
you to come
McKnight's
out and say
ex-wife came
because
out.
there needs to be some explanation behind this because this does not look good. Moving on because I don't want to spend too much time. We didn't see Clip this episode, so I don't want to.
Thank
So
God.
so moving on from there, we're gonna go to Tambra and Marie's meeting. That was so silly and so stupid. I am so over this. Yes, we know Tambra lies. Why are we surprised?
No, I didn't watch. I just did reunions. So the reunion, it's a good way to catch up, but you don't get down to like the
Yeah, you need. I
personality of
told
people.
you, and I told you that you had to watch episode by episode because you're gonna miss something. I
No, but
told you.
here's the thing. This girl lies so much, this heifer, that me, someone who hasn't watched everything, was able to figure out that she's a liar from 5 minutes of one episode. The producers do her so shady. I crack up. When she lies, they make sure to show a clip of the previous. They're so quick with it, but then you look, and after so long, you're like, oh, she just be lying to lie. Like it don't even be for.
Absolutely. And it's so crazy. The shit she says. It's so out of whack. It's like, Timber, you don't have to lie about that. What the hell's Marie can't jump on your ass under that table? If and it had nothing. And the thing about it is, the shit she said had nothing to do with Marie.
Mm.
So this is what I'm saying to Marie because I can't wait. I was gonna wait to the end, but I can't wait. Marie, where's your storyline?
Thank you. I've been saying this for you see every recap I
Yeah.
say it seems like this lady. I hate people like that. You and everybody
No,
else
see
should
what it is. See what
going
it
on.
is. Let me say what it is. Marie don't want nobody talk about her kids and don't want nobody talk about this lesbian relationship with Esty. Thank you, Glenn, for bringing up Esty because I had totally forgot about her. So
Marie
that's
like
what.
women.
No,
That
she no.
makes
Okay,
what
here's the thing. It's alleged. It's alleged. So you got.
the
That's
way
what I said. You got
she
to go
walked like she
back.
like women.
You got to go back and watch season one and go watch some of these other vloggers like Color Me Pink. Shout out to Color Me Pink, Keisha Irvin. Love you. Bondi Blue. Yes. Go back to all of them and they will talk about Marie and her business partner, Essie. She was on the show the first two seasons. And if you hadn't known them, you would have thought them two were together the way Essie goes hard for Marie. It is a crazy ass shit show. So that's what I'm saying. Marie is keeping her lips sealed and strategically inserting herself in some mess. So that way we ain't got to talk about Essie and them kids.
Yo, I'm sorry I had to mute. I don't know what's going on. My neighbors, the painters have been painting for like 2 years and I think
Oh,
they're
you good. You
I
good.
hear all sorts of yelling in Spanish, but no, I did not know that. But I did say there's a time in my life I dated a few women. Marie gave me like, and the way she seems to get excited for other people's relationship problems. And it's like, you shouldn't be excited that your girls is having problems with their men, in my
No,
opinion.
and you should be excited to, always stick your nose in a place that do not belong. We're
Mind you,
gonna
mind
get to
your own
it, y'all, but
business.
I'm just saying, but Marie, where is your storyline at? Where is Essie?
We looking,
Yeah,
we
we looking
waiting.
for, we waiting on it. I'm waiting for you to drop a bomb up in here. Somebody, who are you dating?
Mm,
What have you lied about this season?
he's not
I'm
watching his
waiting on.
mouth.
No, because I'm tired of Marie and this fuck shit she giving. Like I am so sick of her and all of this. Like it is so bothersome to me how you have all this energy, but yet because people was dogging you season one to season two, now you don't want to show your life now.
Mm.
Carlos, I'm not buying this. You better get somebody else up in here.
I
Bring
think
the
that
white girl back that was on season one that was getting on everybody's nerves. Bring her back. I'd rather see her
I
because at
like
least she gay.
yeah, she did. She did. She had no problems. I don't know these things.
Yeah,
She-
at least the irritation we had was a valid irritation, and we didn't care. I don't forgot that baby's name, but I'm telling you, bring her back because Marie ain't
this
giving
is
nothing.
such a good show. And I think that from what I've noticed, James got me watching a lot of own productions and Carlos King projects. And from Encore on BET to Love and Marriage, Huntsville to this, I think he needs to learn to listen to the fans a little more.
Oh,
If
Carlos
somebody's
listens to
playing,
us.
he listens, but I feel like with casting, I feel like on his shows compared to other reality shows, he take a long time to get rid of people who obviously make Marie a friend of, like the Housewives do or something, and put
You know what it
somebody else
is?
in there.
You know what it is? It's he loves the antagonist because he knows that's going to keep the viewers and the show
That's
moving. So
true.
he
That's
keeps the
true.
antagonist here,
Yeah.
so that way she can maneuver away. But no, it's too late. You
Mm.
bring somebody else because Marie is not. We already know Marie. We already know her story. We already know the bullshit. We already know all of this.
Bullshit.
So no, because Marie does a lot on this show
All
for
I
her.
know is I watched season one. I did watch all of season one and the reunion, and she did share her life season one. This one, what are we, season three now?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's this season so far, based on every episode we've seen so far, she's not talked about her business. She's not talked about her dating life. She's not talked about her man. She's not talked about her botch BBL. She's not talked about why she went back to the finger wave. She's not talking about the things that we want to hear her talk about. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
yes. So yeah, Tamber lies. We got this. Marie ain't showing shit. Moving on because this scene was pointless. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to Aikisha and Latrice and bringing them kids and all this hoopla. Because this was in such poor taste that I don't even care. Latrice had her little grandbabies there, fine, and
They're
all this.
cute.
They were cute. There were some
Really
adorable little
cute.
kids. Even Aisha's son, handsome little guy. He really
I love
was.
kids.
Yeah,
The
they were
kids
handsome little
are a
guy.
piece on the show, the children.
So Aisha brought it upon herself to spill out what Josh told her, and I I didn't rewatch this again, but did she tell it wrong?
No.
Okay. Something about this. Okay, maybe just the feeling didn't feel right to me because when I was listening to her talk, I said, "Damn, Aisha, really?"
No,
So
the thing is, she asked a lot of questions. Here's the thing. I think it's right that you go and tell your friend, like if we had a mutual friend and they were talking and telling me all your business and I should know it, I'd come and tell you. But here's the thing. Her asking all the questions when Josh was saying stuff, she asked questions to get she dug deeper.
So that's what. Okay,
Okay.
so that's what it is. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
So
telling y'all, we
it's
feed off
shady.
of each other. I'm telling you, those who are watching, we feed off of each other because I felt like she came back wrong with that shit. I was looking at her because
This is
even
shady as
Latrice had to
hell.
say, Latrice, I was like, wait a minute, I had to get with Josh because, and I felt like the things that Josh told her were all valid things. We're not saying he was wrong in what he said. We're saying he was wrong with who he told it to.
Maybe do they have like a very close relationship, Aikisha and Latrice?
No, we just met. Look, Aisha last season. They just met. That's
Yeah.
why I'm. That's why I'm saying. I think it's the situation that's
But
wrong.
you know what people like to do on these shows is start making it call somebody a friend and suddenly they want to act like they family and sisters and can step in and step look. You can't
My
call
thing
everybody
is.
your friend. You don't know this lady.
Yeah, exactly. You don't. You just met this lady last season, and Josh has been doing your makeup for 5 years. You couldn't think to hold your tongue just at least a couple episodes later until just have it for Mad Day or something. Like the fact that you brought this lady and you probably fucked up a 20-year friendship just because you wanted to be nosy for 2 seconds and you didn't even get anything out of this shit. She didn't even say anything. Latrice was very actually holding back a
This is
lot.
why people because she was with the kids. Ain't nobody gonna act a fool in front of kids. We hope.
I don't think she would. No, I'm not saying act a fool. She really didn't give the information the same way she would have given if it were Latrice or Letitia or or if it was Tamra or somebody. She kind of gave like a no, that didn't happen. Well, it just became a lie, and she really didn't go into the details. I think Aikisha was setting her up to get into. She didn't fall into the holes. And after the third or fourth question, when she was all taken back, like I need to have a conversation with Josh. And I don't know how she's going to respond looking back on this now that we in today's time and they're seeing this back. I don't know how she's going to look at that. But for me, I kind of felt like Aikisha fucked up a 20-year friendship because I think he was venting to her, not thinking that in the setting they were in, she was going to go back and tell Latrice all that bullshit.
I think that when Latrice watches the show back, she'll see that when Josh was saying it, he was not trying to be messy or gossip. However, this is why to those watching in your friendships, especially I have almost a 20-year friendship with James. Like if you friendships that long are rare. It's hard to come by. The older we get, the harder it is to get to know each other. So you really do have to value and treat your friendships with respect when they're awake, when they're there, when they're not looking, all of the above. You just do. If you value that friendship. But I think being in the house, dealing with Cliff, the threats, having to see his friend deal with whatever is being going on in that home. I do think that Josh, it came from a place of emotion, but I mean,
Yeah, because it didn't come off to me the way he was telling her what was going on. It didn't come off like he was being messy. Like, girl, let me tell you, living in the house
no,
with them.
he's
It wasn't
emotional.
like that. It was just kind of like I'm scared for my friend. But the
Yeah,
way Akeisha brought it back to Latrice, it made it seem like he was being messy and telling and like exposing her business. And see, and that's why I said Akeisha was wrong for this
I hate
because
when people do that. Don't get
yeah,
involved in nobody's long-term friendship. Shut the F up and mind your business.
yeah. Because if she really was that concerned about this, she would have said, "Hey, look, go check on Josh."
Mhm.
Because he, kind of confided in me into some things that I don't think were well. So I think you need to call him and check on him because I'm concerned for our friend.
Yeah.
If she had said it like that, then I wouldn't be as mad at Aikisha. I really would not. I actually would be like, okay, see, Aikisha cool in my book. But the
I
fact that
think
she,
Keisha got problems in her own marriage with all
I do
them
too. Because
damn kids,
where's
and she
Willie
don't
at?
want to talk about it. And so I feel like because Latrice has, but it was easy. I feel like it came into her lap, and it's easy. It's a good way to deflect, and that's why I feel like Aikisha and Marie can go. I really do.
Absolutely,
They can go,
absolutely.
especially Aikisha, because she's just like, I
She's just there.
honestly
It seems like
forgot
she's
that
trying
she
to
was. I be forgetting she's on the cast.
that, and I feel like this was a way to get her back in. I really feel like she gonna use this shit to get back in this group. I do because it just feels like she's just here. Like, what does she do? Where Willie at?
I mean, you say she's discussing things of the project that the show is supposed to be about them reviving. So maybe they're keeping her because she's the one person it seems that's doing something with it. I don't know.
Until that day comes, she can come in episode 10 and be Aikisha, friend of the show.
Mm.
We don't need her here now, stirring up some shit that really just is in poor taste. It just really is. Moving on to the last scene of this all, because I ain't even gonna talk about the Tambra and Damon thing.
I
Y'all
just
get
want to
to
say to that, I only had like 4 little notes.
say him because I'm not gonna say nothing. Go ahead.
She speaks to him like he's a coworker. They are on TV together. That man is attractive, and the relationship is not real. That is all.
There it is, y'all. She said it. I'm not gonna go there because
There's
Tambra is.
nothing to talk about
There's
further.
nothing to talk
Yeah,
about. There's
it's not
nothing to talk
real.
about.
The scene with him confirmed it, but that
Yes.
man is fine. That's it.
Like she. So moving on to the last scene because, like I said, she wanted to talk about. I didn't. I said, the hell with
So that we
Tamara and
never have to
Damon.
discuss it again in future episodes. Like it's been discussed here in Watch Your Mouth's recap today, June 6th, 2023. The relationship's not real. So we never have
And
to discuss it again.
yes, and this is the same thing I'm gonna do with Robin Dixon and Juan Dixon on Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm not talking about them until she brings me some shit worth talking about. There we go. Moving on. So now we go into the leasing office of this apartment building that I feel like So Gucci works at, but you know, you didn't hear that from me. That's alleged. That is alleged. I don't know if she worked there or not, but I'm just saying
You throwing her.
because I don't believe property management. That's exactly what she does.
It looks like it. Anybody can do it though, even here in California.
Absolutely. So it's alleged until I get better receipts. But you know what? Because that was just way too convenient.
She needs to own it. Just own it. Like nothing's
Yes.
wrong with working in property management. You can make a lot of money. I believe they get commission, at least here in California. Some places you get commission on
And you did
top
in
of your hourly for every lease you sign.
you did in Arizona too. That's why they would like when I tell you in Phoenix, they would call me like, "Hey, are you still interested? We still got this. I even can knock $1,000 off your 12-month lease." Absolutely, like they would do that, and they would get
Yeah.
commission off that. So I know that for to be true. But they were in this leasing office because there was a whole desk that I didn't see not in their
With a
bedroom
computer.
with a computer. She was sitting
Right.
on the desk. I was like, "Come
It's
on now."
probably a model house, and that was the office we saw.
Yes, exactly. I was like, come on now. Y'all really, and then the one thing I did like about this scene, because I do believe that Marie would do this, is sign the lease for Letitia. I do believe now, Marie, this may be the only bone I'm gonna give you, but I do believe that that is something you would do for Letitia, or probably any one of your friends who really needed you. I will give this to you because that was something that was, especially helping a friend going through that volatile situation that they were into. Yes, because going into it, they talked about Latrice for only a minute before Glenn came up and wrecked shop. So, looking at this scene with Soguchi and Marie and Letitia and Glenn walking in, what was your first response to
Well, I thought Marie looked good in her outfit first. I don't care for her, but she looked good in the scene. Good outfit. Uh, Glenn coming in, first of all, y'all bitches is dramatic. Sit down. Stop acting like it's a axe murderer coming in here, acting like Chucky done got you.
For
Like,
real?
relax.
Yes.
Relax.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. if it came down to who I'm gonna put my money on out of Marie and Glenn, my money going on Marie because you can't tell me Marie can't tackle his ass down and beat the hell out of him. You
I
cannot tell me that. Marie looked like she was ready to go right then and there, but saw that camera in the corner and was like, "Wait a minute, I ain't gonna do this." But had the cameras not
Look,
been
if
there,
there's more females than men, look, I'm just a girl from Deep East Oakland, so I'm sorry to get all ratchet, but we done actually had to get some men, jump a man. We done,
oh,
we all
absolutely.
we all jumping it. If there's three of you, Letitia is sturdy. Latrice looked like she could be a linebacker in her former life. And so Gucci's wig ain't never glued down, which lets me know she stay ready. So I'm just saying, they were hella dramatic. They did it for the camera. It was so obnoxious. And it pissed Glenn off. I think he would have came in there mad to know what happened, but I think he would have remembered the cameras and tried to hold some type of sense. But to be on camera and your wife who's still texting you and still letting you hit it on the regular runs away, does all this extra stuff. Now I do think it was brilliant to put it in your friend's name because then he can't do nothing. I've done that for a friend. I've had a friend and helped her through some stuff like that, and it was fine. So people do that for their friends, but the way they reacted to him was just corny. It's like,
Well, see, no, I like Letitia ran like she was finna get her ass whooped. That's what she ran like.
and then
It looked
she,
like that. And then so Gucci was hiding in a corner. I didn't see her until she brought the papers over to the lease, and it was like, and see, and as I said, Marie was ready. Marie was like, "You cross this line, I'm gonna knock the shit out you." That's what she looked like to me. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. Marie might probably gonna hurt her fly, but something tells me Marie had to fight some dudes before.
no, she has a psychology center and she's everything opposite of what that shit represents. She was gonna knock his ass down if he came in her face.
She absolutely was. Like, I'm sorry, Marie looked like she would have beat the. That's why even Letitia was like, "I got to get Glenn up out of here because Marie is gonna knock him the fuck
No,
out."
that's that. I don't think that's why she wanted Glenn out of there. I
You know
have a
what I'm saying?
different. No, I think that Letitia knows that on camera Marie may want to do something, but I think Marie is smart, and I think that she does know to not let it get to a certain point. However, what I got from that, the stuff that Glenn started dropping bombs when Marie started getting at him, which she shouldn't have done, and
Mhm.
Letitia just let it. I'm like, no. But anywho, I feel like she Letitia been telling Glenn stuff, and the pillow talk started to come out his mouth, in my opinion, when he was arguing with her. Let's talk about your relationship. I was like, relationship? Huh. Now I rewinded that a couple times because it's like he starts saying stuff, and I'm like, okay, he's mad. But instead of looking at his energy and focusing on all these things, which as a woman you naturally do watching something like that, I went back and rewatched it and listened to what he said. Letitia been pillow talking. He not happy. And something with Marie or something that they know, there's something happening. I don't even.
So that's why I said you got to go back and watch it because what
Mhm,
he's talking about Essie, the business partner. He said, "Worry about Essie and not what mine.
mhm,
You can't have mine." That's what he said. So when he brought up Essie, because first season one, there was a whole rumor mill about her and Essie being together because Essie is married and has kids.
oh,
So when he said be with the married man, that's why she said, "Glenn, don't say that." She already knew that that was going into homophobic territory. That's what she was trying to protect him from. So it wasn't even that. It was the simple fact that he was talking about Essie, because that shit with Essie, everybody knows about that.
I
Well,
feel like it's something
allegedly,
else
because
though. I
Maria.
feel like that's the easy way. Like the way he was and when she was pulling him out of there was more he was trying to say. I feel like that's probably it. But I also feel like there's more
Well,
that
keep in
he knows.
mind they're in
Marie's
Jack's.
keeping secrets. That's what I
Oh,
got.
oh yeah, we all know that, but I think it's Essie allegedly because Essie and Marie have said that they are together. But I do think we could put two and two together. What it is, you have to understand where they are. And I
Mm,
would agree with you if they were in California or they're in New York or even Atlanta or here in Miami with me. I would agree with you then. But the fact that they are in the South and we all know how homophobic the South is,
mhm.
that is enough to shame her, unfortunately.
I think where they're at in Mississippi, it's okay. I think the shame comes from the fact that if she is doing something with this Essie person, she's married.
No, I think it's because she's a woman. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I feel like the
I
marriage
disagree.
is a problem because Marie goes and hates on all these people and things and got something to say about everyone else's marriage. But if you're allegedly messing with a married woman, but in the South, that's both messy. Like the
That's
lesbianism
what
is.
I'm saying. Yeah, that's why I say you got to come back to reality here for a second. We're not talking about just any old place. We talking
Yeah.
about deep rooted. This state had the Confederate flag, and just up until recently, as their state
Hmm.
flag. This is not an okay thing. As
Hmm.
much as people want to be with the times and everything, in certain southern states, this is still not an okay thing. They're starting to come around a little bit, but not enough to make this okay. So
Hmm.
yeah, no, I'm sorry. He was talking about Essie. Essie, we miss you. I do, at least, because when you were on camera, Marie was much more tolerable up until season 2. And then that's when I didn't like neither one of y'all. So I would mind seeing Essie. Essie, come back and make an appearance. We wouldn't mind seeing so Amina can know who I'm talking about.
I need to know. I
Yeah,
need to
we need
know.
to know, and you're gonna feel that energy right away because it was so thick that you couldn't tell me different. I'm gonna put it to you that way. You couldn't have told me different. But
It's
that
just I just don't understand. If Marie's not willing to talk about that, I mean, that's the perfect thing to talk about on television.
mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like,
So Gucci not getting this commission, and she was very pissed about it. I caught that.
is this gonna count as a betrayal of friendship, Sophia?
I'm wondering, Sophia, let us know. Is this because she says she pay you double your commission? So was that okay? This is okay. Okay, we just want to know because you was pissed about that. Don't act
I
like that
think so,
camera's.
Gucci. She thought coming on this show that she would have a bunch of new clients.
It was something because I'm still convinced she does property management only. I'm sorry. Now that is a separate license. I know from regular real estate. So something tells me there's more to the story. Latrice, say what it is. There's more to the story than neither one of y'all are trying to let out. Either you protecting her image and you not saying what it is, or she doesn't have the license to do commercial real estate. Something is afoot. I don't know because I mean it's alleged. I'm gonna say it's alleged because she may have the licenses. She can produce the receipts. I don't really care one way or the other, but there's something that y'all are not saying because it's not making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she was mad when when Marie didn't sign that lease because now it's all messed up now, she got a little in her feelings. She said, damn. And she looked pissed from the rest of that scene on. So I'm sorry. There's something afoot with that. So I don't know, but I need some answers. But that was pretty much it. That was Belle Collective. Anything you want to add, Mrs. Best?
No, no, this episode was dry.
Yeah, when we actually dissected, it was dry. But that was it, you guys. We have 15 minutes until we dissect the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not gonna go scene by scene with that one, so we would probably be 45 minutes to that too. But here we are. We gonna come back to you. Make sure you're back on my channel, or if you're watching a playback, make sure you also watch Real Housewives of Atlanta too. And then also at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be 2 p.m. Pacific Time, we are going to be on Mrs. Best channel doing Summer House Martha's Vineyard. We are excited about that. So she's looking at me like she confused. What's going on?
It's 1 p.m., right? My time?
Oh, what time did I say? 4 or 5?
Yeah, you said 4.
Oh, my bad. 4.
Okay, I was like, because I get confused, y'all. He's across the country. I'm here in
Right.
California.
It was much easier when we were just one state away from each other. Now we're
Look,
several states from each
different
other.
time zones.
Different time zones. My bad, y'all. We'll be on her channel at 4 o'clock my time, 1 p.m. her time, and we will do Martha's Vineyard, Summer House Martha's Vineyard. You don't want to miss that one because some of them I'm going off on.
Yeah,
So
I knew
y'all
you
don't.
would too. I left it open format because I know
Oh
you.
yeah, she going see how she do me. All right, y'all. Be back in 15 minutes. Come bring your ass back now. Bye.
Bye bye.